Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. Christmas and New Year's Day are on the same day of the week, which means Sunday. So next week we'll actually have a recorded show as well, because I'm not going to ask everybody to come in on New Year's Day either. So there you go. You can't call in, but we have arranged for a great lineup of people, some of my friends. I said, look, if I'm going to be talking about Christmas and the holidays and guns and shooting and everything else, I just want to hang out with some of my buds, my friends here, the people regulars. We've had them on the show a good bit. So we've had a lot of fun. And one of those, and I said, I'd really like to have Tiger on. So I called Tiger McKee, shot him a note last night, said, hey, can you be there on this? Can you do this? He said, yeah, sure. So, hey, Tiger, how are you, sir?
Doing excellent. How are you, sir?
Good, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and all your listeners. I want to take a minute and tell you thank you for everything that you do for us, the gun world as it is. You're one of our great heroes.
Well, thank you. I don't do anything. I just talk about guns. It's the same thing we do if you were just two of us out on the range, right?
Yeah, I know, but you get paid for it, what makes it better, right?
Wait. I'm supposed to get paid for this? What? Now you tell me. Oh, like I say, it beats working for a living. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. I don't know what I'd do if I had to get a real job, right?
Yeah, right. You and me, all we're doing is working 60 to 80 hours a week, right? So you don't have to have a regular job. Oh, Lordy. How long have you been doing training?
Man, it's like 28, 29, almost 30 years, I guess.
Well, about as long as I've been doing this radio show. I mean, for those who don't know, you have a Shoot Right Academy. It's a firearms training academy, and it centers on self-defense, self-protection, taking care of yourself with rifles, pistols, shotguns, whatever it is. And I always tell people, look, when you go to these classes, and they don't understand it until they go, yes, you're going to learn a lot about guns, and you're going to learn a lot about shooting. But you're going to learn so much more about your head and what's inside of it, and how to get it right, that you're going to come away thinking, the shooting part was great, but I think maybe that was even the lesser part. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And like I always tell people, self-defense, personal protection, whatever you want to call it, is problem solving at high speed. So you kind of have to have an idea of what's going to probably happen and how you're going to need to respond, because you don't have a lot of time to sit there and look it up on the internet or anything.
Well, it's a bad time to try to acquire new skills.
Exactly, yes, sir. And, you can improvise, modify, adapt, overcome, and all that, but that makes it a lot more difficult to solve your problem.
Well, it also slows you down. And in a time when you need speed, you don't need to be trying to figure out what to do. Let's talk about this for a second, because sometimes, and everybody wants to be fast draw, wants to be fast. There are a lot of times when in a real world self-defense situation, if this is the big if you have geared up your situational awareness and you are seeing what's going on around you, you don't need to move fast, and maybe you shouldn't be moving fast. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. The situational awareness, right? That goes a long way to solving our problem. If I can identify possible trouble before it does actually develop, that gives me more time to implement my response. And at the top of our list is avoidance and escape. I try to do everything I can to avoid having to be in a fight, being forced to use my pistol maybe. And if I can, deliberately kind of clear the area without attracting a lot of attention, I'm still ready. I'm still paying attention. But I'm trying to be sly about it and get out of there, right?
Well, it's like walking through a parking lot and not looking at your phone and actually having your head up and then looking left, looking right, and understanding what's going on. I mean, is that couple over there fighting? Is that a distraction? Is that a diversion? What's going on? Just being aware.
And also not getting involved in something that does not concern you.
Ooh, yes. Not my problem. if you see somebody beating the heck out of an old lady, then yeah, maybe you want to get involved in some form or fashion. But even at that, boy, you better be careful because you just don't know what's really going on.
And what I tell people is there's 3 questions that you need to ask yourself before you get involved. Does it concern me? Am I going to contribute to solving the problem versus complicating it for the people that need to solve the problem? And is it worth risking my life?
Well, yeah, a lot of people don't go that far to think what could happen. You know, it's that old deal like Clint Smith talks about it, and I know you've heard it, where he says, you know, what he keeps asking is, and when that doesn't work, and, you know, this is my plan, I'm going to be doing this. Yeah. And he says, great. Now, when that doesn't work, and that seems to be a lot of what you teach and what the top instructors are teaching, which is don't think just because I've got a gun and I'm carrying it and I've got a permit, I'm the good guy and I'm going to make everything stop and go away.
Exactly. Obviously, if you're issuing verbal commands to a threat, which you probably should when the situation allows it, your words are going to carry a lot more weight if you are armed. But then if that doesn't work, you've got to be thinking about, okay, how am I going to solve this problem? We call it the doctrine of good surprise. We kind of think about what we're doing and planning, well, if that doesn't work, what am I going to do next? And when your solution does work, it's a good surprise as opposed to going, oh, my gosh, that didn't work. Now what do I have to do?
I love it. You do such a direct explanation. You know, you don't do the drill instructor thing, although you can do that if you need to. But you help people understand the why, not just the what. And I think that's critical to getting people to incorporate what you teach into their lives.
Yeah, you have to be able to make the mental connections between what you do on the range and how it solves a problem in real life. The other important thing to consider, though, is that you're going to have to explain, here's what I did and here's why I did this to the legal authorities and if it goes to court and all that. So you've got to be able to justify what you did, and then you have to be able to explain why you did that.
That's an excellent point, and you talk about that as well in your training. So as we, you know, today, I mean, this show we recorded it early, but it's airing on Christmas, and so you got the Christmas rush, and you got the after Christmas sales, and people are going out, and a lot of it's online, but a lot of people are out and about, and the holiday season seems to be a time when the criminals are out, you know, in droves, and they have kind of standard things they do to set up and ambush people in parking lots and do different things. You might just talk about how, I mean, we always tell people, well, ramp up your awareness. Well, that's great. But how do you do that, and what specifically should people be doing?
It's not really complicated. You have to pay attention to your environment. And what you're looking for are any activities that seem abnormal or unusual, especially places you frequent a lot. You kind of know how the pace of the store is, you know, you visit there a lot, and then you see somebody that's doing something that's absolutely unusual for that environment, and that prompts you to pay attention to that behavior. There's a great book called Left of Bang, which is based on a Marine Corps training program that teaches you how to pay attention. So you have to learn how to read body language because the majority of our communication is nonverbal. It's body language. Is this person's body language telling me that they're agitated, anxious, angry, whatever the case might be? So it's about paying attention and looking for something that is out of place for this environment.
And part of that, and Left of Bang is excellent. Steve Tarani's book is excellent. Same kind of deal where he talks about establishing a baseline. What's normal here? And out of normal, you know, something that's not normal could be it's a lot louder than it usually is, or it's a lot quieter. I mean, you walk into a convenience store and there's nobody moving around and there's nobody talking. You're going, this isn't right. Something is going on here. You might want to do a 180.
Before you walk in the door, you should be looking through the windows to kind of see, okay, does it look normal in there?
Is everybody just standing there like not moving and going, oh, that doesn't look... And
then we back it up a little bit further from there. Before you ever get out of the car, you look around to see if things appear normal.
There's also something that I very firmly believe in, Tiger, which is I think people get killed because they don't want to embarrass themselves or other people by acting on that little signal. They want to push it away of, oh, I don't want to do that because I would offend him if I walked to the other side of the street. I don't want to do that. Or just, oh, that's probably nothing. I mean, you hear it all the time. That's probably nothing. That's really not a big deal. You've got to listen to those little warning bells that are going off.
Yes, sir. And like God gave us a spidey sense or sixth sense or whatever you want to call it, gut instinct. When it's telling you something's wrong, you really need to pay attention. If you talk to people and read about people that have been, involved in horrible situations, they'll go, well, this happened, but I really didn't pay attention to it at that point, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Or, well, this happened, but I was in a hurry to get to where I needed to go, whatever the case might be. If you look at this stuff, there's pretty much always warning signs that bad stuff is coming.
I always tell people, look, your primary goal, like when you're driving, is not to get somewhere on time. Your primary goal is to get there safely, no matter how long that takes.
And
you need to change your priorities to make sure that is your priority. Tiger, for those who are thinking, I'd like to add on to the Christmas gift thing for us, maybe for me, my family, my wife, for somebody, they can sign up for your classes, and I know you take them on the road as well.
I still do a little bit on the road, yes, sir. Not as much as I used to because I don't really like flying that much anymore.
I don't blame you.
And then we offer our courses here. And what we do is a few years ago, we started just offering private tutorials. So that can be for an individual or a group, or we have a lot of families that come out as a group, which always makes me really happy to see that. So we can kind of schedule what you need when you need it.
There you go. It's ShootRite, SHOOTRITE.org. You can get all the information there and see what Tiger's put up to. Also, you can learn about his knife making. We don't have time for all of that, man, but they could even buy one of your custom-made knives. Tiger, thank you so much, and a big old Merry Christmas to you and your lovely wife, who you always
badmouth. Sir. I'll tell her that you were speaking about her.
Gretchen, she's the real deal. I really appreciate your friendship.